everyone, my name is Daniela and today I'm going to be talking to you about miscellaneous career tips. Tip number 1. When you are going in for an interview, you want to make sure that you have a LinkedIn set up or you have a business social media set up. Now what I mean by that is you can have your LinkedIn set up, and in your LinkedIn it's basically going to have a description of the past jobs you've had, it's going to have your past school experience, and it's also going to have some past certificates and awards that you've received. It's basically a way for you to have your resume on an online profile for other people to view. Now by social media, I mean that you want to make sure that you have your social media set on private for your personal use. That way, in case there is an employer that wants to do a background check and actually goes through social media to check if you have something, they will come across something that will surprise them. But what you can do is create a separate account and make that your business social media, where you can display the awards that you have, you can display the conferences you have attended, you can display the type of jobs that you have and the type of work that you do. So it is a great way for you to share that information with others, especially when you're on the go. You can easily give them your Instagram handle, and that way they can easily follow you on your social media business page. Now, tip number 2. You always want to wear closed-toed shoes. You don't want to come off giving the wrong impression if it's an environment where they wear only closed-toed shoes and you come in for an interview wearing open-toed. This applies to both men and females, so please keep that in mind. Always wear closed-toed shoes. Tip number 3. You want to make sure that your shoes aren't too scuffed up, and you want to make sure that they're polished. Keep this in mind. The minute that you walk into the location for your interview, you're already being, in a sense, interviewed. The way that you walk in, if they catch you and if they see you coming in, they're going to start to see, okay, how does this person carry themselves? Do they carry themselves with confidence? Are they more shy and timid? So that's something that you want to keep in mind. The minute you walk through the door, you want to set a good impression. And the way that you can set a good impression is by making sure your shoes are nice and polished. So let's say you don't have a way to polish your shoes. Some things that you can use are a banana peel, coconut oil, and petroleum jelly. Now the way you use a banana peel is you go ahead, peel off a piece of the banana, use the inside of the banana peel, and rub it along the side of your shoe to go ahead and polish it. And the oils from the banana peel will go ahead and shine your shoe. Another thing you can use is coconut oil. Now you would go ahead and grab a cotton swab, put some coconut oil on it, and then go ahead and rub it onto the surface of your shoe. Not vigorously, but go ahead and do it smoothly. Another tip is using petroleum jelly or Vaselina. Again, grab a cotton swab, go ahead and put some petroleum jelly on it, and then rub it on the surface of your shoe. Now a quick tip, you don't know how your shoe is going to react to the substance, so you want to make sure that you try it on a section of the shoe, preferably on the back where it won't be so noticeable, before you start making your way to the front. So always keep that in mind when you polish your shoes. Tip number 4. Nails. So I know some people do have the habit of biting their nails, or they don't necessarily maintain their nails. So men, you want to make sure that you go in with clean cut nails. Make sure that they are presentable. And ladies, same tip. You want to make sure that you go in with clean cut nails, because if the employer sees your nails and they see that they're not well maintained, it might give off the impression that you are anxious and that you don't promote so much of self-care for yourself. So how is that going to reflect as an employee? So you want to keep that in mind. Another quick tip is to invest in a portfolio. Now I've seen this happen many times, where someone comes in for an interview and all they have is just their resume at hand in a loose sheet. Now, I understand that sometimes not everybody has the means to buy a folder, but I do recommend that you invest in it, because in the long haul, it will help you during your interviews and it will help you look more polished. Now, you can easily get a portfolio on Amazon. They range between $7 to $14 depending on which one you get, and it's just a regular standard portfolio. And an example of that would be just like this one. So, the standard portfolio could be like this. It would be like a fake leather on the outside, and then on the inside, sometimes it comes with a notepad, and then it gives you a place right here so that you can store your resume. And it's mainly so that you can have it at hand in the interview, and in case you have any notes that you need to write down, then you have a notepad at hand so you can go ahead and write them. Now, let's say you can't invest in a portfolio at the meantime, then that's perfectly fine. Feel free to go to the 99-cent store, the Dollar Tree or Dollar General, and right there, you can go ahead and just purchase a stack of regular manila folders, and a pack can easily just be $1. That way you have a place so that you can store your resume on the inside. Now, one of the famous questions that employers normally ask is, tell me a little bit about yourself. When an employer asks you this, they're not necessarily asking you what your favorite color is, how many dogs you have, and what your favorite thing to do on the weekend is. What the employer means by this question is that they want to know more about your career path and your academic goals. So something you would want, some way that you can answer this question is by saying your current education level. You could say what type of career you're interested in, what your ambitions are. You can also mention what things and steps you have done in order to bring you closer to your career goal. And that's a way that you can answer the question, tell me a little bit about yourself. Something that you want to avoid doing is telling the employer your exact age. The reason why I say that is because sometimes they will take that into consideration, and it kind of will hinder their judgment when they're interviewing you. So you kind of want to avoid letting them know your exact age. Just go ahead and tell them what are some things you have accomplished, what are some skills you have, where you are academically, and where you are professionally. Another quick tip is that you don't want to just bring in one resume to your interview. What I normally like to do is print out 4 copies of my resume and my cover letter, and if necessary, also my writing sample. Now, the reason why you want to do that is because sometimes you may go in with the impression that it's just one person interviewing you, but in reality, it's a panel. So, and what I mean by panel is I mean it's more than one person interviewing you. So by printing out 4 copies, you can easily hand one out to each individual person so they can go ahead and check it out while they're interviewing you. It also gives off the impression that you came in prepared, ready for anything to happen. And not only that, but if you have 4 copies and 2 of them get messed up on your way over there for some reason, you might spill coffee on it, might spill water, they might get wet, then you easily have 2 backup resumes, 2 backup cover letters to go ahead and show them. Another nice tip for future careers and also for interviewing is to not overdo any type of makeup. Now, what I mean by this is when you're going into an interview, you want to keep it more neutral tones, more of a softer look, and you don't necessarily want to be wearing neon pink, bright, super bright eyeshadow on your face or on your lips, mainly because that can be distracting to the person interviewing you, and you don't want that to happen. So you just want to make sure that the makeup is minimal, more of a natural tone, like natural colored look, and try not to overdo the makeup. Thank you for watching. These are just some quick miscellaneous career tips / interview tips. If you're interested, you can go ahead and follow our Instagram at LA Grid. Bye.